All right, welcome back to HighGuard MMA. This is going to be a new kind of video. We're going to be doing every fight to make for the main card winners of UFC 327, plus a couple of guys on the prelims. So the way it's going to work, I'm going to have the winner of the fight right here somewhere, and then who they should fight right here somewhere. So we'll see how that works. First up, we have Gamrot. He beat Esteban Ribovics. He submitted him. I think Gamrot should fight somebody like Benoit Saint-Denis or Paddy Pimblett next. But I believe those two guys are going to fight each other. It hasn't been announced, but we'll see. So honestly, I think Gamrot should fight Rafael Fiziev again. It's the rematch. He TKO'd Fiziev, I believe, a few years back. But I believe that's an interesting fight for both guys. Moving on to Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland's unranked right now in middleweight and welterweight. But I think he should fight. There's two guys I think he should fight, honestly. Daniel Rodriguez again. They fought a few years back, I believe in like 2024, maybe it was. D-Rod won by decision. It's kind of a close fight, controversial fight. Shout out to D-Rod though. Kevin Holland actually just bailed him out of some Mexican jail. I don't know all the details. That's all I know. Crazy stuff. But so Kevin Holland should fight D-Rod again or fight Leon Edwards. Why not? Leon Edwards isn't up to anything unless, they give him like Jorge Masvidal or something, or they give him like Conor McGregor for some reason. But if not, I think he should fight Kevin Holland if Kevin Holland doesn't fight D-Rod, but I think D-Rod is the obvious pick here. Moving on to the last guy from the prelims we're going to talk about is Aaron Pico. He was unranked, but he's going to move into the top 15. I saw him talking about he wants Lerone Murphy, or the Lerone Murphy rematch, or he wants Movsar Evloev. I don't know about all that. I think they should, and I think the UFC and him should kind of slow their roll a little bit and not really push him as much. So I think he should fight somebody like a Josh Emmett next. I think he's ranked top 15 still. Or you give him like a David Onama, a top 15 guy. Or if you really want to push him a little bit, give him an interesting fight. Kevin Vallejos, he's up there. I think he's 11 or 12. That would be a banger fight. Two guys that can wrestle, but two guys that are gonna stand there and fucking throw bombs. That'd be a sick ass fight. Moving on to the guys from the main card, we have Dominic Reyes. I think Dominic Reyes should fight Jamal Hill. I don't really have a lot of reasoning why, other than Jamal Hill's not very active right now. I know he's coming off an injury and he's coming off a couple of losses. Dominic Reyes, that fight against Johnny Walker wasn't the best, so you can't really look too high up the rankings when you're trying to, match up with, who you should fight next, even though, there's probably an interim belt in the mix there. But I think you give him somebody like a Jamal Hill. I think that's a good matchup. It's a winnable fight for both guys, but I think it's a winnable fight, especially for Dominic Reyes. I think, he could catch Jamal Hill, or he could, beat Jamal Hill by decision. But I think Dominic Reyes should fight Jamal Hill next. Moving on to Josh Hokett. What's crazy is I had these notes written down a couple of days ago about, like, for each person from the main card about, like, okay, if Curtis Blades wins, he should fight this person. If Josh Hokett wins, he should fight, But for Josh Hokett, I had Derek Lewis down already because I'm like, hey, if he beats Curtis Blades, fuck it, give him Derek Lewis. Why not? That'd be a fun-ass fight, fun build-up, right? And then the bald man was up to something. Baldy was up to something, man. During the podcast, right after Hokett's fight, Dana White goes live on Instagram and announced that Derek Lewis is going to be on the White House card per the president's request. And he's fighting fucking Josh Hokett. I don't know how you sign a fight, book a fight immediately after you win a fight while you're on the stretcher going to the hospital, but that's going to be a cool ass fight. That's going to be a sick fight. I'll break that down at some point when it comes to it. I believe that's in June. But yeah, so we'll talk about that when we get to it. But anyways, yeah, Josh Hokett, Derek Lewis, match is made already. Moving on to the winner of the co-main event, Paulo Costa. He was unranked. He beat the number 6 guy who's undefeated. Now, there's probably going to be an interim title fight in this weight class if Olberg is out for a while. And Paulo Costa can honestly get in that conversation, maybe, right? But if not, I want him to fight Khalil Rountree. That's a sick-ass fight. Khalil Roundtree and Paulo Costa would be a fucking banger. No wrestling, just straight kickboxing, straight Muay Thai, banging fight. I had him down with Khalil Roundtree / Jamal Hill, but Paulo Costa looks so good. He would starch Jamal Hill. I don't even want to see that. Let's see Paulo Costa and Khalil Roundtree. Or if there's an interim title fight, maybe you do Magomed Ankalaev and Paulo Costa. I don't know. We'll see, right? Moving on to the champion, Carlos Ulberg. Carlos Ulberg next. If he can fight anytime soon, I believe he's got to fight Magomed Ankalaev. He's the number one guy. He just lost the title to Alex Pereira, who moved up to heavyweight. So I believe he's the obvious, number one contender. Or, hear me out, guys. If Ulberg is out for a while and they do an interim title, right? I don't know what's going on with the interim of Carlos Ulberg, but at some point, Alex Pereira, does he move back down to light heavyweight to reclaim that belt? I don't know. We'll see. But I guess the other thing I got to throw in here is interim title fight. Is there going to be an interim title fight? If there is, Magomed Ankalaev versus Paulo Costa. Or do you do Magomed Ankalaev versus Khamzat Chimaev, depending on the outcome of Chimaev Strickland? I didn't even want to say this in this video, but I'm going to say this. I wanted Yuri Prochazka to win this fight so bad because obviously it would depend on how Khamzat does against Strickland and if he wins that fight, right? I wanted Yuri versus Khamzat so fucking bad, bro. And now there's absolutely zero chance of that fight, I think, ever happening. I mean, I don't want to say zero chance. Anything's possible, right? But I just think that would have been such a sick fucking fight. Like, two completely different styles, two crazy motherfuckers, two guys that are just down to go in there and fucking go at it and go for it all. But unfortunately, that's not what we have here. We have Carlos Ulberg as the champion, and we probably have an interim title fight. So we have, Magomed Ankalaev possibly here, and Paulo Costa, Khamzat Chimaev. We'll see. Anyways, this video is pretty short, but I want to get this one out there, just a new kind of video, see how it does. But anyways, we will be back. The next video will be in a couple weeks. It should be the first week of May, I believe it is, or last week of April. Is going to be the UFC Fight Night Perth, which is JDM versus Carlos Prates. Anyways, so we'll be back with a prediction video for that fight in a couple weeks here. But until then, stay tuned to the Instagram. I'll be posting some stuff on the story. I'm looking for feedback on things, seeing how people feel about different UFC rumors, things about the video game, and maybe, who knows, maybe I'll start playing UFC 5 until UFC 6 comes out, and I'll throw some clips up on here of me playing that too. We'll see though. Until then, HighGuard MMA, we out.